Turner. Psst. Hi. Do you know what happened 11 years ago today? Me and your mom got married. If anything mounted on my dash to actually hold my camera, so it could just fall off at any second. Called it. Alright. Hey, funny thing about this, as I'm figuring all of this out, let's make sure that our battery is charged before we leave for the day, so that it doesn't die halfway on your ride to work and you're in the middle of your spiel and you have to try to remember everything that you were talking about. That seems to be maybe a really easy rule to remember, but it's kind of annoying. Today's my anniversary. Yeah, 11 years. 11 years of marriage. So Tabitha and I met a while ago. I was 22, I think, and she was 24, 25. Alright, so rewind. College me, a long time ago. I went to a small private art school. And it's a cool private art school. It was great. But I was really poor, living in a small studio apartment. I needed a job. I was working at a Starbucks at a mall, and it was great, and I didn't mind it at all. And this one customer always came in from Virgin Megastore and got the same venti coffee with 2 shots of espresso in it or something. And she was cool. Her name was Angela, and I always remembered a drink, so I always have it ready for her. And I asked her one day if they were hiring for the holiday, and she said yes. So I start, and about a week or so after I start there, I meet another one of the managers, and her name was Tabitha. And we just became friends. We became friends. I was dating somebody, which was fine, but it wasn't going great. You know, I think we were both kind of winding it down. 6 months after meeting, we stayed up all night talking. I think we watched one of the Harry Potter movies when they came out on DVD or something. It might have been the 3rd one. I don't remember. But after it was over, we stayed up the entire night, and then she still lived with her parents, and so we were at her parents' house. We stayed up all night, and we literally just talked all night, and at the end of that night, we were like, hey, let's date, let's be a couple. So we got married 11 years ago today. We got married in this little city-owned sanctuary in Gehenna that's still around, and it was cool. I love being married. I had that thought, I have to be married right now. But I just met this one wonderful, awesome girl that I totally fell in love with, and I thought, this is it. I should just marry this girl because I don't think I'm going to find anything better. And I don't think all of the excuses we make up about getting married and having to wait and doing all those things, sometimes I just don't think they're worth it. I was still in school, we were dirt poor, we had a crappy little apartment for the first few years of being married. But we made it work, and the thing that made it all really great is that we were just together. Great, but I couldn't be happier with just the simple fact that I'm married to my best friend who's beautiful and loving and understanding and fantastic, and it's been 11 awesome years, and I can't wait. There's going to be 11, 30, 40, 50 more that are going to be just as good. Let's walk around. And now I need to go eat some lunch because, well, I'm getting hungry. Side salad. Dressing. I gotta fill out a card. I gotta eat this quick. 2 years ago, Tabitha wrote me a card for our anniversary, and I forgot to write her one. Not only that, but I also didn't read her card for another year and a half. Gonna go fill out that card. So I went after lunch to my book bag to look for a card, and I couldn't find a card, so I don't have a card. That's kind of funny. So I got the card. Literally, I usually have 1,000,000 pens in my bag. I have 0 pens in my bag. I asked her nicely. I said, hey, you have 2 pens on your counter here. Can I have one of the extra ones because I don't have a pen to fill this card out with, and I'm in trouble if I don't fill it out. So she gave me a nice black Bic pen. All right, so I got this card, and if I know myself, I need to fill it out now before I get home. Done. Such dramatic lighting. This is such hard light. Okay, so game plan is dinner. Go home, get changed, get dressed, get spiffied up. Thinking black bow tie. We'll see. My mom's gonna come. She's gonna watch the boy. We're gonna go be adults for a little bit, like away from our child, which is crazy. I'm excited. Okay. Oh shoot! I forgot the card.
We can do it. We can give each other cards when we get home.
Damn it.
Even though I brought mine.
You did? When's our dinner?
Of course I did. In 10 minutes.
No, I thought it was 8:30.
You said 8 o'clock.
Okay, then it's at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna go get it.
Oh my Lord. Your dad's gonna be
Pizza
like, what the hell?
person.
Go.
I'm going.
Go. So it's our anniversary. 11 years. I'm still crazy about him.
What'd I miss?
Nothing.
I like your video.
Thank you! Okay, think of a really funny story, like in our marriage. Like some silly, funny thing that happened.
The very first thing that comes to my brain, like instantly, was early in our marriage when, well, there were 2 instances, but when you and I in our first apartment were chasing each other around the apartment, and I was chasing you, and you tried to jump over our bed, and the duvet cover was really like silky, and you slid and you hit the wall, and your hip left an imprint in the wall like this big.
The time I made you the most angry.
I just don't know.
It's okay.
I'd have to really think about that one.
It's fair.
We were in North Carolina, and we were ocean kayaking, which I'd never done before. And then we get to this island, and you have this idea that you want to get out and like eat lunch there or explore the island. And I didn't want to get out of the boat, and I just had this expectation that we weren't going to get out of the boat. So when you said we're getting out of the boat, it really just made me mad. And so you forced me to get out of the boat, and we're walking through like reeds, and our feet are like trying to get onto this island, and we get to this like scary island, and there's a skeleton of some kind of animal hanging from a tree, and you're like, no, we can still eat here, and I'm like, I don't want to stay here. I'm not effing staying on this island. And I was like yelling at you, and we get in the boat, and you're like angry with me for wanting to get back in the boat, and we ended up
the next island.
We ended up kayaking to the next island, and you decide you want to get out on that island, and so we start trudging through more reeds and stuff, and all of a sudden we hear this noise, and we look down, and there's like thousands of tiny crabs like moving like a wave that we've just scared the shit out of, moving in a wave in front of us, and I'm like, what is this? And you're like, no, it'll clear, and we'll just drag the boat. And I was terrified because they're like, I'm not kidding, there were probably over 1,000 of those little crabs.
Funny, I think about our hard years of marriage, or the hard times in marriage, and I think you lost your job one day, and then I went into work the next day, and I lost my job, and we just moved into an apartment that cost us more money. And that was like really hard. It was super hard, and we were both bitter and angry.
It's a tough time.
It was really tough because like we were living off of our credit cards for any like paying even our like electric bills and stuff for like a few months.
My
And, like,
parents actually paid our rent one month.
they paid our rent 1 month, and I remember even like the job I got at that art supply store was like almost nothing.
I don't know how we made it.
Me neither. But I think about that, and that was really hard. But like we did really well. Like it. We've always like during those times like kind of like drawn closer to each other and found ways to make it
I think
okay.
that's what marriage is supposed to be like.
And yeah, like every single miscarriage was hard.
Yes. Absolutely. You know, one of the best times was actually finding out we were pregnant with Turner.
Yeah, because it just happened.
It was such a surprise. 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you took the test and you came into the room and you said, I'm pregnant.
Was stunned.
You were shocked.
And I
was
sat
asleep.
down on the bed and I touched your foot. I grabbed your foot. I was at the foot of the bed and I was like, I said it's positive. It's positive. I couldn't believe the test.
And I think I said.
You said, well, that was cheaper. Because we were going through fertility.
We were going through all these payments, and we were actually thinking about like in vitro and like all the costs with that. And yeah, I said, well, that was cheaper.
Yep.
But like super happy, and I remember like that as well. And then, but it also started like another period of like just super nervousness, you know. But then every single time we went back to the doctor, and everything was okay. It started feeling better and better. And I think it wasn't until around like 5 months that we started to kind of breathe a little easier.
Still never told anyone. Like,
yeah,
on Facebook
it took a long time.
Are you thinking about marriage in general?
Yeah. And I love it. It's great. I can't complain. I'm so happy to be married to you.
Agreed. What we've always felt about marriage, about protecting it, about how marriage is an oasis to come to. It shouldn't be the storm. It should be the protection from the storm. And I think we've both been really careful to treat it that way. Is part of why it's successful.
I love you.
I love you.
Like every bit.